How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Q suite?
Is your perfect journey one where you soar the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air, one where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
For it, Gaia FC with the opener. Kenshiro Daniels burned him for pace. Great hitter. Third goal for UCFC. And the lethal tandem of UCFC. Robert Lopez now into the scoreboard for that goal. Yenbe hits the crossbar and a lovely weighted pass or a lovely weighted shot into the path of Robert Lopez Mendy. Busy. I like his crazy that one. When you have patience, there's the first goal!
Maharlika Manila's first goal in the Philippines Football League, tucked away by Jose Montelibano.
Great pass.
Boyer wide open.
Touch and strike that sun.
Goal for Maharlika Manila. His first chance, and they've taken the lead. Wow. Substitute Jeremy Doyer has put Maharlika Manila in front.
Yeah, so overall it was a good game. Good game by the team. It was more or less a fucking good effort from the team. After first game we lost. But yeah, like it was a good win for us, good win for the club, and the first win in our club history. And scoring the first goal for the club was a great momentum shift, just for the game and for the season as well. Like it shows that we can go even further in this competition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult for us because this is our first game. Then we stayed out like 5 days with we cannot train. That's why it's not easy for us. We need to next game we need to adjust. And then our team it's like up and down. But yeah, we fight until the end of the game.
Yeah, the game was a good game for both teams. We knew that we were going to play against a young team, a hungry team that lost against the first games. As we continue with the winning mentality, we came over here knowing that it was going to be tough, but the whole team took it in a good way. We struggled together, we suffered together until the end of the game, and that's what we need, and hopefully we continue this way.
Go to those extremes, let's go. Parliament, calamari wins, parlay in Vegas. We was in tennis, before the business, we was doing this. He is
I'm Eric Minmiganto from Macau, Davao de Oro, a forward from Kaya FC. Nag-start ako sa province namin sa Macau, Macau, Davao de Oro na siya ngayon. I started when I was grade 2. Na-invite ako ng mga cousins ko, and then doon nag-start ang lahat. Nung una, just for fun, pero ngayon naging passion ko na to eh. So, walang football, parang manghihina yung katawan mo eh. So, para sa Kaya FC, proud na proud ako kasi ito ang team na to na sumuporta sa amin kahit na down na lahat. Hindi kami iniwan, so thankful ako na nandito ako sa Kaya FC. Siguro sa masasabi ko, malaking tulong yung ginawa ng PFL, lalo na yun nga, yung football, hindi ganun kasikat na sports, pero napatunayan na kaya ng PFL mag-provide ng league. At ngayon nga, magsa-start na this coming month, so magpapasalamat ako ng marami sa PFL also. Isa lang yung target ng team, to get the championship and maglaro sa AFC Champions League. So yun, expect nyo na ibibigay namin ng lahat sa loob ng 90 minutes. Sa 5 games na yan, magkakasiguro kayong magiging masaya kayo sa papanoorin nyo sa Kaya FC. Para sa akin, lahat naman challenging, pero di natin mawala yung United. Siguro yun yung kumbaga magiging mahirap na kalaban, pero alam namin na may bubuga kami as Kaya FC, and may mga kaya kami.
Coach Yu will be up against Mendiola tomorrow in the Philippines Football League. How do you think your team needs to bounce back against Mendiola after that 1-1 draw against Stallion?
Yeah, we still have everybody have a positive mentally, so that since after the game we are still relaxing, then focus on tomorrow. That's our mental.
So, Coach, how are you preparing for this game? How are you motivating your players to make sure that they can get a result to ensure that we'll have a exciting day on Monday?
Yeah, of course. First of all, against Mendiola, also really important game. So just focus on this game. Then, especially first half, we are first time to play 9 a.m. So we have to focus on this.
Ready, set. Coach, kalaban nyo kaya bukas sa match na to. Ano ma-expect natin sa Mendiola? Alam natin na nahirap ang sitwasyon ng Mendiola. Kumusta ang moral ng players? Paano mo sila i-lift up para dito sa important ting laban kontra sa kaya?
So of course, step by step, we approach the game with new game plan. Of course, we have two more on attacking options right now. So I tell the boys that if we cannot score, we cannot win the game. So that is very clear that 1-0 is enough to win the game. So we have some adjustment in tactical. Of course, we're so defensive. We try right now to move forward to try to some press or trapping more at the attacking third. And second is our mindset. Even though that we are losing already 2 games, but we still have to move forward and then learn from those mistakes and then don't make mistakes again, especially in this kind of teams that is very good and quality players. We cannot lose balls, especially at the middle third easily, and we cannot lose the balls in our build-up, especially their counter-attacking is very fast, like Daniels and Daiso. With Bedic and Amita and the Borca is very dangerous. So of course we are aware of that, and we'll adjust in the second half. Hope that our sub players will make some impact in the game.
Strike!
Forteria still. Forteria with a great cross!
It's the opener!
It's a beautiful day today here in the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite. The sun is shining and looks like we're going to have a great one today. Kaya Football Club up against Mendiola FC 1991 in a game that has so many implications for the title race. Welcome to the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. This game is under supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board, and we have a great one for you. My name is Paulo Del Rosario, alongside my partner for today, one of the key figures in developing young talents in the Philippines. That's right, it's Darren Hartman, and for many people, the favorite Hartman brother in Philippine football. Pleasure to work with you, partner, for the very first time. And we have a team in Kaya that has all the pressure on them, because dropping points here could mean they could lose the title today, and a Mendiola team just so hungry to get it done. Here's a look at the league table. What do you see here?
Well, we can see United City starting to pull away, especially in terms of goal difference. And if you're talking about the weight of this match, Kaya FC have definitely got to get a result today. You could say drop points against Stallions, but then Stallions were in a situation where they needed points. So Stallions did a good job. But it's a very, very well set up game with Mendiola still looking to get their first points on the board for the season.
Well, Kaya FC-Iloilo in particular is one of the teams that wanted to make a challenge, a real challenge to UCFC. Take a look at the results so far. Just 1-0, 1-0, and a 1-1. So really having a hard time scoring goals despite all the pressure that we put on them prior to this particular tournament to get the goals and really put the pressure on UCFC. What do you have to say about their attacking, especially considering the fact that they only managed 1 goal per game so far?
Well, I think if you were looking at this as a 20-game league, you would say that their results are according, but this isn't. The situation we're in is there are only 5 games and goals will be important. But looking at the sort of ability that they have in their squad, I don't think it's a point about converting chances, it's about taking more chances. They do need to get their shots off, they do need to start hitting the target, and today would be a great day to start with that really big game coming up on the 9th.
Kenshiro Daniels is our player to watch today, and he has been fantastic so far for Kaya. He has pace to burn, he feels fit, he is very quick on the ball, very opportunistic as well. He had a really tidy finish against ADT, and if they want to get victory today, they need goals, especially from this man.
Yeah, technically he's a very complete player, and of course in his earlier years in the Philippines, very favoured as well in the Ascal senior squad, so he's had the experience. Now I would say he's pushing on to be a senior player, especially at local level, and I don't think it's just his goals, it's going to be his leadership and commanding a higher rotation and keeping the ball in Mendiola's half.
Well, as we've seen so far this season, he has been one of these stand-up performers from Kaya, and he'll hope to continue that here and hopefully get on the score sheet more than once. Of course, you have other guys like Jovin Bedic as well who could be a big factor for them. Let's take a look at their starting lineup, lining up here in a 4-2-3-1. Bedic playing up top. Kenshiro Daniels will be the number 10. Jason Panhay, their first goal scorer here, will play at the left. Very attacking look here. Daiso Hirikoshi, also watch out for him. He's been a live wire on the wing.
Yeah, I think that the setup in terms of defensive strength is good. It's Simona Rota at the back. It's his birthday today.
And you know what? We don't know how old. No, we know how old he is. We'll say it in the minute we're in how old he actually is. So that'll be a pretty fun. Jalso Soriano, also his birthday. But funnily enough, in his info sheet given to us, he did not give us his age. So that is interesting to see. Take a look at the subs as well. Gigante and Amita, take a look at them because they could be game changers, especially in the midfield. Dalen De Broica as well, who was man of the match for their first game. Kaya have so many weapons off the bench.
Yeah, I think it's also a little bit tactical today, whereas they will be looking... It's not about coming out and scoring a lot of goals. Number one, they have to win today. But of course, putting some goals in now would help build the momentum and the team morale going into their last big game. So looking at the bench and the way that the coach has set things up, it looks as if it will be a game of 2 halves. The first half will be contested, and the second half, if the game is already to bed, they will be looking to score goals.
Coach Yu Hoshide was telling us in an interview prior to all of this that they are a team that is still relaxed, still focused on getting the victory, despite their drop points last time around against Stallions. 1-1 that was, and for every Kaya fan out there, quite a disappointing one. Moving on to the next team here, we have Mendiola FC 1991. The disappointing results here, an 0-6 thrashing against UCFC to open up, and then an ADT loss 2-0. And if you are Mendiola, you'd feel hard-pressed about that because those 2 goals against ADT came late in the second half. Probably felt that they could have nicked a draw here, and Coach Dan Padernal says, against Kaya, it is realistic for them to steal the result 1-0. They have a new attacking plan here that is ready. Excited to see what that actually is, and it's easier said than done against one of the favorites in the league.
Yeah, I think so. For me, the determining factor is going to be the fatigue. It was a tough game against United City, as you can see reflected in the scoreline, but the ADT game, being so close for so long, meant that both teams were really competing for pretty much 80 out of the 90 minutes. So it's about their recovery and whether or not they are ready, not just mentally, you've got to be ready both mentally and physically for a tough game against Kaya FC, who are an AFC standard team by my books.
Well, talking about having to be ready physically and mentally, Kenry Balobo, their keeper, will have to play big here against Kaya. We expect them to have more shots on goal in comparison to Mendiola, so he has to be in tip-top shape today if they want to get a result. Talking about Kenry Balobo, he already had a saved penalty against ADT at the end of that first half. Actually very contentious for some of them, and maybe it was a situation of ball don't lie there. So take a look at the starting lineup for Mendiola. Playing a same formation here, 4-2-3-1. Briseño in the middle, who made his debut last time. You have to take a look at Haji Medi as well. He'll be the creative force in the midfield, and Flores will be up top. Has to really get going here. Again, no goals so far for Mendiola, but they'll be hard-pressed to find one here against a tough Kaya team.
Yeah, I think lacked a little bit of width in their last outing against ADT. I think a lot of their pace is coming straight down the middle. However, if the wingers who... with age should be looking to play a little bit differently. You don't need to play the same game that you played, 4 or 5 seasons ago. So they could slow it down, give the pitch a little bit of width, because at the back, they look quite comfortable. They're pacey, they're strong, and they're not frightened to put in a big tackle as well.
Well, not a lot of substitutes for Mendiola. Dino Watara at the bench as well. So you have to look at what the system Coach Dan Padernal has today to get over Kaya, because it will be a tough battle for them, especially looking at what is at stake for Kaya. They know they need the victory. They know that a loss or drop points here could cost them the title. So Mendiola FC will have to dig deep. They are the underdogs, and can they get it over the favorites? Kickoff in just a few moments, and again, here is the weather forecast. Again, very sunny day, and we're here at the venue. It's great to be out here, of course, following all the health protocols given by the DOH and the Games and Amusement Board. And let's wait for them to come in.
How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Q suite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air, one where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Kaya FC Iloilo up against Mendiola FC 1991 here in the PFF National Training Center in the heart of Carmona, Cavite. It is a beautiful day. Great way to start everything off here. This is the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. The game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. No fans here today, but you can show your love and support for your favorite teams by sending in your videos to the Philippines Football League Facebook page. My name is Paulo Del Rosario alongside Darren Hartman. You know, this feels like an all-star pairing here simply because we've worked in separate networks for such a long time. But the PFL bring us here together, as well as the stars here of Philippine football in general. So Mendiola FC 1991 looking to shock and upset Kaya FC Iloilo, who needs maximum points here to keep in pace with UCFC. A loss here could mean they lose the title. A draw here today could mean they lose the title. Take a look at the officials here. And you have Nelson Alobin, who will be the lead referee. Tough situation here considering the temperature, the early kickoff. It feels like a youth game in the sense that typically youth players play at this time, But here, the professionals in the bubble, in the PFL, showing us that they can do it as well. To everyone watching around the Philippines, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Hopefully you're enjoying your breakfast, and we got a healthy serving of Philippine football ready for you. Now, for everyone watching all around the world, to all our kababayans out there, welcome home. Mabuhay sa inyong lahat. And for those who aren't Filipino and enjoying Asian football for the very first time, Southeast Asian football, we hope you enjoy what we have to offer. Kaya FC-Iloilo playing from left to right in all black, Mendiola in their white and red kits. So it'll be interesting to see here, Darren, what Mendiola come up with. Coach Dan Pardanal has said that they have a new attacking play, a new attacking option, playing in 4-2-3-1. Again, no goal scored yet, and that'll be tough to do against KFC.
Yeah, I think Mendiola need to adjust a little bit. They were playing very direct against a younger ADT, perhaps trying to take advantage of their lack of playing years. I wouldn't say experience, but definitely playing years. But against Kaya FC, you've got a very seasoned back four, joined by a younger player himself who's managed to get experience overseas, Marco Casambre. Good to see him suiting up and playing at this level. So I think Mendiola just need to be a little bit more patient on the ball, and of course just try to read how Kaya have set up for this game. As you said, Mendiola are the underdogs, and Kaya FC will be dictating the tempo and how this game plays out.
Well, we expect IFC to take the tempo, to dominate possession, but then in terms of scoring this season in particular, only 3 goals with 15 shots on target in their first 3 games. So really, this Kaya team has had trouble finishing, and Coach Yu Hoshide will hope that that changes today. Could this be an early chance here for Kaya? A foul outside the box, no, says the referee. As Mendiola trying to push out quickly, trying to push to the wing now on the right. Altiche on the right side, trying to operate and get past Casambre. Casambre is typically a center back, at least we've seen him play that for the Azgals. And he is operating in maybe an unfamiliar position here, but let's see how he does. It has been a tough tournament, especially for Casambre, because all the wingers that he had to face have been really some of the more exciting ones here in the league. So MJ Libre for Maharlika, he tortured Casambre down that wing. And of course, you had Lance Ocampo from ADT giving him fits as well. Kaya still managed to get results when they needed to, despite that encounter against Stallions. It was 1-1, and the draw cost them to drop points. Interesting to see how they bounce back here, trying to attack on the left side. Balobo comes away with the ball. Balabat unable to control that, so chance here for Kaya going on the other side. Soriano, the birthday boy, with a throw-in. Again, we don't have his age. Really, we really don't. I wish we did. It's not part of the info sheet. Daiso on the right side. Early chance there. Beta couldn't get to it.
Yeah, it's still early in the game, so both teams really just trying to settle down and, of course, adjust when you're doing your warm-ups. It's very different to when the game starts, and we have to remember a 9 o'clock kickoff it's not just about the heat, it's the fact that it gets progressively hotter as the game goes on. So you can expect for the first 5 minutes or so that it will still be a bit of feeling out from both sides, but Kaya with an early corner, and of course our man to watch earlier, Conchero Daniels, over the ball, a set-piece specialist.
Conchero Daniels already with a goal to his name, as the referees will sorting something out here in the sideline. And I think everything has been addressed, or they will continue to address it. And I think they're double checking the shin pads there, making sure that everything's all set. And it is, so Conchero Daniels will start us off with a first corner here. Kaya FC will try to take advantage. Simone Rota and Carlisle Mitchell, the center backs in the middle. Carlisle Mitchell with a chance, and that is just over.
And that was a golden opportunity there. One of the things I just noticed tactically is that Mendiola had every single player in the box there. They didn't leave anyone forwards, just giving the luxury for Kaya to only leave one defender back. And of course the big men at the back there, and Mitchell actually should have scored there. He had a lot more time than what he thought, most probably.
Well, that was an early chance there in the first 5 minutes. Take a look at it one more time. So Daniels with the delivery. Carlisle Mitchell getting a lot of time in space and just skies that over Balobo. Foul there on Flores. Tried to outmuscle Mitchell, and he is one of the powerful center backs in the league. So dominant in the air, talking about Mitchell. Former Trinidad and Tobago international. And I believe maybe the only player in the PFL who has played against a certain Lionel Messi. High pressure here for Mendiola. Unable to catch Mitchell out though. Now attacking through the wing again. For Bolmas, Omura giving it back. Kenshiro Daniels, who's operating in the middle, now on the side. Trying to find Daiso, and that will be a foul. Chance here for Kaya FC for another set-piece delivery into the box.
That's a quick free kick, and just drifting offside though. It's a good idea. Referee allowed it to play.
And the flag is up there, so... Well, Mendiola, you know, the nice thing about being in a bubble is that we can hear everything. And the Mendiola defenders, they're screaming at each other to wake up, wake up. And Depe in particular being vocal at the back right now. They need to do so. They need to stay alive here against this Kaya team. Again, they're out for blood, talking about Kaya. They know they have so much to make up for, especially after their draw last time around. And that is off for Balobo. Happy to operate in the wings. Kenshiro Daniels drifting from the center to the right. Back to Omura, not finding Soriano. Clearance there by Ndepe. Again, operating heavily on that right side. And Ndepe came out for the challenge. And Nick Daiso in the process.
Yeah, Mendiola just a little bit slow in the press in the middle of the park. Just giving Kaya a little bit of space to play and move the ball around. And then it's really getting very, very tight when they're pressing onto their back four, and just a little bit of frustration there from the big man at the back. That's not really where you want to be making your tackles. You want to be making them a lot further up the pitch. Very, very quick successions here, set pieces for Kaya.
Well, Kenshiro Daniels, he has been testing his range in terms of delivery. Different look here from the free kick. Again, so many big bodies here for Kaya inside. Danger's not completely away though. It'll be a throw in deep within Mendiola territory. Kaya with the consistent pressure here. And you have to wonder just how long can Mendiola hold on, or can they attack Kaya on the break? Again, so many bodies, so many white shirts deep within the half of Mendiola. In fact, the game feels almost exclusively played in their half at the moment.
Yeah, it does. It's a very interesting setup from Mendiola to have set their defensive line so deep so early. When they played against ADT, they were a little bit higher in their press. But here you're just going to be asking for trouble against such a well-drilled and organised team like Kaya.
Soriano, back to Omura. Really focusing their attack on the right side here, talking about Kaya. Maybe they see a weakness there on that left flank. Polina. Bring that forward. But Angeles able to get it. They go back to Simone Rota. Again, so much experience in the center back pairing here for Kaya. Angeles couldn't hold on to the ball. Chance here, Polinag pushing forward. Trying to go to Flores in the middle. And Mendiola just having a difficult time stringing a few passes together to have any consistent possession.
Yeah, if they don't start putting passes together, then the intensity of the way that Kaya are playing will start to cause them to tire. Well, this is the first time now that Kaya look to have ran out of a couple of options, but now they're popping the ball around again in that high rotation. They're looking quite sharp today, Kaya. Team come out with a purpose.
Good stop there from the left back. Flores unable to control it, so that'll go all the way to Casas. Again, we can hear Mendiola clearly from where we're sat, and asking for so much communication at the back line, and according to the keeper, it really hasn't been enough. Kaya content to probe and find the gaps within this Mendiola back line. They go wide right again, but that's too far for Soriano. Soriano trying to get it. Simone Rota trying to go forward again. Daizo's on that right side, and they have been looking to attack from there. There he is on the ball again, trying to play with Bedic. Cross in, trying to look for Kenshiro Daniels. The header back, Panhay. Unable to do anything there, and Kenshiro Daniels with a... I'm not sure if that was going to be a shot, but a good defending there to concede the corner.
Yeah, it's a great play by Kaya, and it's a fantastic cross into the box by Danzo, but here you've got to take that first time. I know that Mendiola are sat at the bottom of the table, but still they know how to defend. They're very aggressive, they press very quickly, and I think a little bit of homework should have been done there, just to make sure that when the ball is falling in that box, just snap your shots off. They've taken 15 shots all season, converted 3. That's a good conversion ratio, but there's no shot. There's no shot on target. You're not going to score. I'm sure a goal is coming, but that's the difference, I think, at the moment between United City and Kaya, is the fact that United City are taking their shots.
Chance here from the corner again, but that one's way too long. Masa Omura now. Kicks it all the way back to Soriano. Soriano, the birthday boy. Delivery inside. Carlisle Mitchell in the middle. Mendiola unable to really clear that. And that will be a shot. Another corner here for Kaya. Again, piling in so much pressure against Mendiola.
Yeah, Mendiola really look on the back foot at the moment, and it's going to take more than just defending to keep themselves in this game. It's not a bad effort, and again, that's what we want. Just snap your shots off.
Well, we talked about the 15 shots on goal all season from Kaya. We can probably expect that number to rise here in this particular matchup. Oh, and that is the opener, or will it be chalked off?
The referee there, Nelson, very, very quick on his whistle.
So that will not count for Kaya, and Mendiola, well, you actually saw some of their forward players just run up quickly. Let's see what happened here, what the referee saw. Well, the referee decided to pull that one back for that piece of action.
In fairness, the referee did blow his whistle before the ball had crossed the line, so...
He's very decisive in the call, talking about our official. Kenshiro Daniels now in the middle. Again, it feels like, talking about Kaya, they have been attacking almost exclusively on that right flank. That's the Mendiola left side. Now shifting it around though. Panhay couldn't get to it. Almost a turnover. Had to get the clearance right there. But Angeles there to claim it for Kaya. They're trying to go around again. Kenshiro Daniels playing a quick 1-2. Ball will roll back to the Mendiola defender. So Kaya still playing deep inside the box. Deep inside the Mendiola territory, rather.
See, for me, even there, a great build-up play. Love the way that Kenshiro Daniels just dropped the ball off. But then you're in range. At this sort of level of football, anything within 20 yards within range, and that's an opportunity to test the goalkeeper.
Oh, trying to find a good run in the middle. Unable to do so, though. Hamed Hajimedi, that's his first real contribution to the game, at least from an attacking standpoint.
Yeah, and a little break for the Mendiola defence as well. As Kaya look to build up again on their, looks as if their favoured right side so far this game.
Shifting things around, and I believe that this may be the type of game we're going to see for majority of the 90 minutes here. Kaya FC trying to apply pressure on Mendiola, attacking them from the flanks. Trying to do so again. Mura unable to keep it. Now Daiso has it. Daiso thought about playing it forward, but gives it back to Masanari Omura. Bedic going a bit deeper here. Trying to receive the ball. Finally gets touched. Now giving it to Soriano. Daiso, little flick. Angeles, so much time. You have to feel if you're Mendiola, you have to apply maybe a bit more pressure up top.
Yeah, I think so. But Kaya at the moment, their ball rotation in the final third is very, very good. It's not easy to string together that many passes when the defence is tight. Perhaps though it does delay the build-up in some ways if you're not able to play what we would call short, long. Just take the pressure on one side of the pitch, get it out, ping it over to the other side so there's more space to play. Apart from that, Kaya have come out and are playing really well.
Daniels playing a little 1-2 with Daiso. Nearly last-ditch defending there for Mendiola. Rota to Mitchell. Long forward ball there, trying to find the run of Bedic. And Panhay almost got to it, but the Mendiola back line staying solid so far, 15 minutes.
Incredible, really, that they've managed to hold the pressure this long, Mendiola. I mean, 15 minutes gone. That's what I would say that the phase of the game where you're really trying to settle into the tempo of how the first half is going to play out, and it's still 0-0.
You have to wonder how long Mendiola can hold on mentally in terms of defending, because this takes a lot of concentration to do, especially against a high-octane team like Kaya FC.
Yeah, as long as Kaya, patient, not just on the ball, but also mentally, so they're not getting frustrated, because minutes will tick by, and Mendiola might be able to play themselves into the game. They do have a couple of players, of course, with Hamed and Flores, who are very good on the ball and create things by themselves individually.
Well, Hamed and Flores in particular, we know that they will be the source of all the offense for Mendiola, or at least for most of it. And then unable to really get any space here. You see Kaya, as we saw a while ago, really closing down on them almost as soon as they get the ball. Now trying to look for a run on the right side, but that's way too long for anyone to reach. Chance here for Kenshiro Daniels. Ball falls the way of Soriano. Soriano pulled back to Daiso. Daiso, Hirikoshi attacking on the right side. Referee says that was a clean tackle.
From where I was, it looked like a clean tackle. Perhaps what the players are saying, it's very unorthodox to come round that side of the player after he's already in the box. So it looked a little bit unorthodox, but it worked.
Well, Indepe has to play big here if they want to keep a clean sheet and upset this Kaya team. And so far on that left side, able to do so.
I think sometimes you just get defenders that will rise to a challenge like this. I mean, this is Kaya FC. Everyone wants to play well against Kaya. And at the moment, it's not been pretty for Mendiola, but they're holding on. But they're going to have to deal with another corner here from Kenshiro Daniels. And another corner from Kenshiro Daniels.
We're probably gonna have to count how many corners he will take, how many set pieces he'll take on this right side. So Kenshiro Daniels, another corner coming up.
Yeah, I think he's got a game plan as well. He's gone near post for first few. I think he's got to switch it up onto the far post soon.
Well, on the far post, you have Carlisle Mitchell making the run there. Another clearance there. And unable to save that one, that'll be a goal kick. 76-24 is the possession count, and boy, really not a surprise based on what we've seen so far early on.
But it's also about the quality of the possession. I think Mendiola have had the ball, but they've not been able to string together phases of possession, not like Kaya, who every time they get the ball look composed and look as if they've played at a higher level.
I know we've seen so little possession so far from Mendiola, but then Coach Dan Padernal said that they have a new approach to their attacking play. Have you seen that so far in the early goings?
Not yet, but perhaps we might see it now.
Here's a chance again for Bedek. He's on the run. 2 defenders on him. High clearance there. Hajimedi getting it in the middle. Chance here to go on the break. Maybe trying an attack from the left side. Balabat there on the left. He was actually listed as a center midfielder. So let's see whether or not he can find some space there on that left flank.
Yeah, of course, Mendiola have a very thin bench. I mean, look at it 2 ways. Number 1, don't have many options. But number 2, the coach also doesn't have to overthink things. It's really going to be about how much Mendiola want to stay in this game. They were talking about holding on and trying to nick the game 1-0. At the moment, it doesn't look likely, but it still is possible.
Well, we've seen stranger things in football.
Of course we have. I mean, we look back to that Maharlika Stallions game. I know that Maharlika are a very deep squad in terms of experience, but they managed to get a result.
Would you say they're a squad of your peers? I like how you had to stay quiet about that. Jovan Bedek, one of the guys here for Kaya, has so much experience, and Kaya will try to hope to get going. Especially, look, let's say they win this game against Mendiola. I know it's too early to make an assumption here, but if they take maximum points against Mendiola, that matchup against UCFC could be the title decider, and they want to get their goal scorers going quickly. And that will be a handball there, and that should be a yellow card for what is it, unintentional handball.
Well, he's saying that it was a funny bounce or he was low, but whatever happens now, it's just not a good position to give away a free kick.
And boy, with a turf surface here, you really don't know about the type of bounce you're going to get.
Yeah, I think also you've got to be careful with, with the quality of it's not just throwing, but passing in and around the edge of your box. We're actually told you should never pass square.
Yeah,
square
absolutely.
and backwards, yes, but if you put it slightly square, players can read it, and I think perhaps just fell under a little bit of pressure.
Well, we've heard so many coaches say pass it down the line. This time, paying the price for passing it square. Daniels over this one. Panhay, chance on goal. Deflected to the post. And Balobo coming up big, preserving the 0-0 draw so far.
Yeah, that comes down as a good save in my book. Fantastic save.
Corner compiling up here for Kaya. Again, this is something that we expected going into this one. Can they hold on? Different corner kick taker, Panhay.
Yeah, 5th corner, left-footed, in-swinger. That's a great ball.
Oh, Mitchell was a target there, unable to get to him though. Another corner. Again, Mendiola will do well to go into the halftime break. Still knotted up at 0-0.
I think not just do well, I think they would be happy to go in at 0-0.
Another in-swinger, so different look again from Kaya. Ndepe with the big clearance. Kenshiro Daniels found the time, found the space, but couldn't get the finish to fall.
We're starting to hear now Mendiola wanting to slow the game down because of the amount of pressure they're under. This time, Kenshiro Daniels taking it down on the edge of the box, but not able to guide the ball on target. Good technique, though, trying to get over the ball. But Mendiola keep the score at 0-0 halfway through the first half.
Well, Kenshiro Daniels, as we mentioned, is the man to watch for Kaya FC in the pregame. Consabre unable to win the header there, but that'll be a foul anyway.
Yeah, Flores does give away quite a few free kicks. He likes to contest those little 50-50s and just keep the defenders reminded of his presence, I think.
And with all due respect, at the moment, I believe that's all that he could do, really. That's all he could contribute, just to remind the defenders that he is always on their shoulder. Panhay now on the side, finding Bedek. Bedek in the box, trying to pull that one back. Omura trying to find Daniels again. Hajimedi interrupting that run of play. Kai just heave it inside the box, and Balobo there to collect.
Yeah, he's having a good game in goal. And perhaps then Kaya maybe slightly overplaying the ball around the edge of the box.
Balabat so much time on the ball. Possibly prolonged possession finally for Mendiola. And just stepped over it. Daiso now on the attack, and Kaya break here. One of the few times that not all of the white shirts are in their territory. Chance all the way to reset now. And you have to feel for Flores because of the so much possession for Kaya. It feels like he's playing a defensive midfielder role even if he's listed as forward. Curling shot there from Daiso. Doesn't fall, but that'll be another corner.
Yeah, I think you're right in what you're saying. Flores is having to drop quite deep to get on the ball. And you can see that Kaya just, keeping the pressure on. At the moment, it's reflecting in set pieces, in corners. But Mendiola are doing very, very well to get their man marking sorted. It's obvious that Coach Dan Pedernal has done a good job doing his homework and making sure that every player is matched up man for man.
Panhai standing over this one. Again, another in-swinger. We're just racking up the corner count. And again, if you're Kaya FC fan, you're just counting the number of corners until they eventually score, because that's how they feel they're gonna get the opener.
Yeah, as long as there's quality on the deliveries, there's always going to be a chance from scoring from set pieces.
A quality in that delivery, almost a chance. Carlisle Mitchell,
incredible defending,
getting their bodies on the line now, trying to break. Flores is asking for it. Altice can't get it to him. And Omura there to snuff it out. Bedic trying to find the run of Panhai going forward. He hasn't switched back to his favored left side after that corner.
Yeah, it was quite interesting though. That time when Mendiola were on the counter-attack, you could really see an intent, as they probably feel that is their opportunity, or that's the sort of occasion that they might be able to create a chance from.
Talking about Mendiola, it feels like maybe they feel that they have a chance on the break and that they may have the speed advantage in terms of their front line compared to the back line of Kaya.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if Flores could time his run right in between the two centre-backs, then there would be a chance. But this is an amazing passage of play here. Just last hitch defending, just throwing bodies at it. That's great. That is good defending. Very instinctive. A team characteristically playing maybe at the bottom of the league, just trying to stay in the game.
Well, that was basically two bodies that saved a goal for Mendiola. So we're gonna have a hydration break because it is a very hot day. Don't forget, you can show your love and support for your favorite teams by sending your videos through the Philippines Football League Facebook page. We've seen quite a few already, and we are still waiting for the first fan video for our Darren Hartman.
I was actually going to say, I think I should do one. I'm a massive fan.
Oh, really?
A lot of the players who I coach now, I'm a huge Man United fan, but I've already kind of given up on the season, and I've been following the PFL, and I've really enjoyed it.
You know, I can commiserate with you there. I'm also a huge Man United fan.
So let's just all watch the PFL.
Yeah, let's just watch the PFL because honestly, it has been a tough watch. And again, for all of our friends overseas and around the Philippines who are also Manchester United fans, well, join us here and commiserate with us. We feel you every step of the way.
I would just say one thing though. Everything is relative, and I think in terms of where a Kaya, not the way that they're playing, but Kaya are on the same level as what Man United are in England. Relatively speaking,
yes.
They are. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with being a fan of PFL football, because this is our top division and these are our best players.
Absolutely.
So this is like watching Man United against Southampton.
With all due respect to Southampton,
yeah.
Of course. To all the Saints fans out there, with all due respect.
Look, I just put in my two teams in. I got away with it there.
Well, you know what? If you get angry tweets from overseas, if you get angry comments on our social media pages, that's definitely on you. Back to play here after that hydration break. Still tied up at 0-0 here, Kaya and Mendiola. A rare foray into Kaya territory here for Mendiola. Let's see if the hydration break has given them an extra lift in terms of energy. Flores now passing that back. Angeles there clean things up, and easy play here. Casas, who was the Golden Glove winner in the last season, heaves that forward, trying to look for Daiso. Daiso, good control there. Again, trying to make inroads on that right side, finding Bedic. But then so many white shirts, really. Just stopping play for Kaya. The attacks of Kaya coming in from the flanks, predominantly on that right side. And, you know, with Daiso operating on that right flank, it's easy to see why. Just so dangerous there. But now shifting to the left. Simone Rota going central. Finding Angeles. Good defending this time from Mendiola. But can they win back possession? Referee has his flag up. So the pull play back.
And with 30 minutes gone, I think that Mendiola could possibly be the slightly happier side in terms of the scoreline. But I think in terms of the way that people are playing, Kaya will be happy. Yeah, they've drifted offside a couple of times, but that's because they've maintained possession so high and Mendiola have been so compact that they're quite difficult to play through.
Route 1 football here. Can Flores get through? No, Mitchell's just too big, really. No fouls as a referee. So the play did continue, but really Flores was all alone, a man on the island there up front.
We would have had a serious game in our hands if Mendiola had scored then.
Again, they are confident that they can nick a 1-0 result here against Kaya. Bedic playing all the way back. So much composure on the ball for Kaya. Yeah, and so much possession as well.
Bedic's doing a good job. He's just dropping the ball off to the supporting attacking centre mids. At the moment, they don't have that final combination, but it's getting there.
Good play so far from Mendiola defensively. Again, so much concentration, that is a key factor. So much pride for the defenders for Mendiola for sure, because they've shipped in a lot of goals so far, hoping to improve here this time around. We mentioned a while ago that Mendiola held ADT to a 0-0 scoreline at the halftime of their game and only conceded 2 late. They're hoping they can have 90 minutes of good defending this time around for Mendiola.
It's always difficult when you step out onto the pitch knowing that you're going to be defending for big portions of the game, and I think a lot of this will come down to how Mendiola are going to be on the counter-attack. I know that last season they were quite effective and started to build a reputation as a counter-attack team. Not yet seen that, although they have played 2 very tough games. Tough for different reasons, but they have been 2 tough games.
Balobo is the man that we're watching out for. He has probably been the guy with the most amount of pressure in the game so far, trying to command his back line.
Yeah, and I didn't get to mention this last game, so I should mention it now. It wasn't his fault, the 2 goals which he conceded against ADT. Absolutely nothing a goalkeeper could do about that. You could argue maybe with a few more inches he might have been able to get onto Harvey Yosa's header down into the far corner, but there's a player down at the moment. Could be Marco Casambre.
Well, Casambre requiring medical attention here. And, you know, it's an interesting factor here, the bubble. So many games in such few days, and health and fitness is always going to be an issue. And any injury to any player, that will really be felt throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Kaya are one of the more fortunate teams in the bubble because I think they have an incredible depth of squad. Of course, though, you wouldn't want to lose any player when you're restricted to 20 players, or like Mendiola, who are restricted to less than 20 players. Every single player is a real cognitive piece in what you're trying to put together as your campaign.
Well, Casambre getting a bit of the cold spray and stretching out his left shoulder, so hopefully he is okay and will be able to return. Back to the action here. Mendiola tried to give that to Flores and unfortunately unable to do so. I think that is the plan of Mendiola, trying to go on the break. They trust their pace. Flores can get to that though, but they'll have possession deep into the Kaya territory.
It would have to be a very well-weighted pass and a very well-timed run from Flores to break through the experience. Even though he's pacier, there's still a lot of experience between Mitchell and Rota at the back. And of course, Simone Rota will not want to concede on his birthday, that's for sure.
Oh, as well as Soriano.
He'd like to score.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we're getting close, by the way, to the minute and age correspondence for Rota, and we'll only greet him happy birthday once we get to that mark. I know I'm not sure if you know how old he is right now, but you'll find out in a couple of minutes.
He's older than 34.
Oh, definitely. Doesn't look it, though. Oh, Bedek offside there. I think that's a great thing about Filipino genes as well, because you never look your age.
That's true.
Trying to find Flores. Simone Rota there with all the height and the foul. A chance for Mendiola to come up with something here. A rare free kick within Kaya territory. Hajimedi will stand over this one.
Hajimedi's quality of set pieces was actually surprising. He really impressed me in his last couple of games. So let's see if he can produce anything and try to help Mendiola put together at least an opportunity this half. It could be now.
Kaya with an assured clearance there, and that was a rare moment of worry there for the Kaya back line. A chance for Mendiola to apply pressure once again. Flores trying to control it, eventually does. Does he have any support? He's going at it by himself. Angeles misses the tackle, and Mitchell there eventually to clear it. And Depe has to take it, and that will be a foul anyway, so Kaya will have the free kick. And happy birthday, Simone Rota. That's the 36th minute. He is 36 years old, and what a way to celebrate it here on a matchup against Mendiola.
Great work here by Flores, just trying to tease through. I think sometimes when you find yourself in that situation, you've not been on the ball a lot, and you're just trying to make something happen.
Boy, what a solo effort it would have been had he at least got in a shot on target there, but too many black shirts, too many bodies. Mitchell asking for more movement. Soriano with the overlap. Can he get to it? Not that time. Good defending from the left back. That is Polinag. Masanari. Back to Angeles in the middle. Hajimedi offering pressure. Mitchell playing from the back. Now to Daizo. Daizo. He's not given any space, talking about Daizo. And I think that has been one of the marked mans for this Mendiola team.
Yeah, I think they've slightly managed to adjust now to the defensive setup. They're managing to put a little bit more pressure on Kaya's centre midfielders, where at the start of the game they were a little bit too deep standing off the ball.
If you're Kaya, you're always going to say that it's tough to score against a team with 10 players right in front of the goalie.
Yeah, in terms of physicality, from the set pieces is when Kaya really have their advantage, but in open play it's relatively even at the back.
And Depe had to get at Heather. And they're targeting Mitchell a lot in set pieces, talking about Kaya. Unable to get there that time though. And Mitchell's way up front right now, the center back from Trinidad and Tobago. Unable to operate properly there, but Bedek gets the ball back anyway. Can he whip it in? Angeles couldn't win it. Hajimedi made sure that the white shirts kept it. The ball falls kindly for Daniels. Daniels pulls up for the shot. Another corner here. The corner count goes up once more.
But that's what Kaya needs to be doing. When the ball is loose in and around this area, nice little set back to Kenshiro Daniels, and you've got to shoot. That's what you need to do. Yeah.
9 corners so far for Kaya, so just one more and we hit double digits here, but not a single goal yet for them. Can they get the breakthrough here? Mendiola backs against the wall. Going far post this time, but that is too far for Rota. It has been one-sided, but definitely entertaining because it has been an onslaught against a team that has a mindset wherein they will not break.
Yeah, it's been very cagey from Mendiola, and I mean, you have to give them respect for what they're doing. In the first 10 minutes, it looked as if Kaya would run away with this game, but they've managed to, I wouldn't say work themselves back into the game, but they've managed to work themselves to stay in the game. It'd be interesting whether or not Kaya start getting frustrated, whether they change the way that they're playing, start playing more direct. But at the moment now, you can see that the marking of Mendiola is much better. They seem to have worked out who they're marking and what their areas of responsibility are.
And Depe doing well there to shield the ball.
Doing well not to give away a corner. They've given away a huge amount of corners so far.
And playing Route 1 football here, just heaving it forward. And if you're Mendiola, all you need is one incisive pass. Because really, to win a game, all you need is one chance and one goal.
And it's very different from the start of the game, because now Mendiola actually have players slightly higher up the pitch. Before, when Kaya had the ball in their low rotation, they were sitting very, very deep.
Well, Hamed Hajimedi, the man on your screens, could be one of the key factors here. Don't be surprised if the incisive pass would come from him. Daiso now operating on the right side. Again, marked tightly. Angeles with a bit of time and space. Cleared away. It goes back to Angeles. Another clearance here. And maybe a bit more precision in terms of the delivery and open play for Kaya. Could be the difference here. Kenshiro Daniels hounded there. Panhay with the foul. Hajimedi upset, saying that Panhay threw an elbow to Sandoval.
But I think also in open play, when the balls are coming in from out wide, I don't think that Kaya have the advantage physically.
Well, Jason Panhay awarded with a yellow card there. Rather slapped with it, not awarded. It's never an award. Take a look at this here. So, yeah, the elbow is up, and referee had to do something about it.
I think sometimes there are rivalries that run past UAAP, and I think also sometimes when you're playing against even former teammates as well.
Absolutely.
Especially when you switch clubs. So you have to remember, we're quite a small growing league still, so it's quite often that you'll play against former teammates, and we saw that in the ADT game against Diano. There were some pretty hefty tackles going in.
Daiso now on the right side, looking for the run of Soriano. He finds it, he gets it, and Depe, the center back, going out wide to challenge. Omura trying to find Bedic, and Daiso's offside.
Great skill, though.
Had that not been offside, I'd probably be on the highlight reel. Let's take a look at that one more time.
And Omura's done well just to turn that inside. Difficult.
Ooh. Well, trying to play on the shoulder of Ndepe. Unable to see it from that angle, but let's trust the linesman.
That's what they're there to do.
Oh, they get paid to do it. Mendiola taking their time with this throw-in. Again, maybe a moment of respite for them. Doing very well in this half so far. I'll be interested to see the shot count for Kaya in this game. Again, they went into this one shooting 35 times, only 15 on target so far this season, and have only 3 goals to show for it.
Just about to say, how's your touch, pal?
You know what? It's a good thing that you're beside me. I'm telling you right now. There's a reason why I'm at the booth and not on the field. And the reason why I'm the anchor and you're the analyst. Kaya again trying to find some inroads in the flanks, and if you're Coach Yu Hoshide, how will you change things up to open up this Mendiola backline, because they have so many bodies in their own half. They're able to contain it by defending narrowly, as we take a look at this passage of play on the opposite flank now.
Yeah, I think the only thing that Kaya can change is that when they're getting the ball wide, they have sometimes 3 players out wide, which means your ability to switch the ball when you cross the ball, you have less numbers inside. I think they just need to look at rotating the ball quicker across the middle. It's there. It only just needs a little bit of fine tweaking. They're doing absolutely everything right, apart from when the ball is on the right, it is getting stuck a little bit on the right, and then that slows down the dynamics of the game a little bit.
Do you feel that Kaya would try to work something out at the halftime break in terms of their set pieces? Because they have had a lot of them, easily in double digits, but then really unable to, haven't necessarily challenged the Mendiola backline to the point of really worrying a goal, apart from that attempt from Mitchell a while ago.
I think what I've seen so far during this PFL bubble is that teams set piece.
Oh, and that was almost a shaky pass there from Soriano back to Casas. Casas fortunate to be way forward.
Yeah, it's really that the set pieces have been, for lack of a better term, basic. And I think that really is because of the amount of time that these teams have had on the training pitch. You would normally say that sometimes 20 to 30% of your goals can come from set pieces. So you normally allocate enough training time to make sure that you actually can benefit from that statistic. But unfortunately, training time is limited. So, I mean, Kaya are just hitting front post and far post. They don't really have any short corners or anything that we've seen yet.
Another clearance here, so 2 minutes of added time will be played here. Hajimedi, boy, he has had very little time on the ball, and when he has had it, Kaya quick to close down. It's knowing your personnel. They know that he is the guy most likely to have the key pass.
Yeah, you've got it exactly right there. He is known for what he can do on the ball. And although he drifts in and out of the game, every time he gets the ball, he's potentially dangerous. So he's been a man mark probably since September. You know, people know what to expect when you play against him.
He has been one of the long-standing figures in Philippine football. He's played at the top level here for quite some time, and even featured in the 7th Football League from one Anton Del Rosario. Very comfortable on the ball. Oh, a chance here. Losing possession. Casas forced into a save. He had that covered, and that just goes to show what Mendiola are trying to do, trying to win possession in uncomfortable places for Kaya and quickly taking their chances.
Yeah, I think a goal from Mendiola is more likely to come from a one-on-one than a shot from outside the box. We have to remember that Michael Casas is a top goalkeeper.
Again, the Golden Glove winner from last season. And I believe this season, though, he does have competition. Mandakan Fong from Maharlika Manila, rather, will have a case, at the very least. Long ball forward here. Carlisle Mitchell there to clean it up. Former Vancouver Whitecap in the MLS. Now surging forward here. Finding Daiso on the right side. Is there a late goal in injury time? From center back to attacker. Mitchell working against Indepe. Can he keep it? Boy, that is a battle and a foul. That will be a free kick. Boy, that was a gargantuan battle there between the two titans at the back for both these teams. Mitchell finding himself way forward. Again, he is the center back. Ask any center back if they can go attack, and they'll say yes. So he found himself here, and just, boy, that was a tough one-on-one battle. And I would not want to be in between that for sure.
It was good to see the two centre-backs there competing, and they will probably be doing the same here from this free kick. Last opportunity for Kaya to get themselves a goal before half-time. Floated.
Ooh, trying to find Mitchell again. Danger not away. And that'll do it for the first half. Mendiola have bended but haven't broken against Kaya FC. 0-0 at the break. Well, if you're Kaya, you would be so frustrated with all the possession, all the dominance, all the shots. And if you're Mendiola, well, you know, signs of hope here. There could have been a couple of breaks had a pass been more properly weighted for Flores. But Balobo, man, on your screen right now, he'll be a very happy man considering what just happened so far, what has transpired in the first 45 minutes. And Mitchell, as much as he is a solid figure for Kaya at the back, he has been probably the most dangerous guy on set pieces for Kaya. At the break, 0-0. Kaya FC Iloilo cannot drop points, or UCFC will have a pathway to make it a championship once more tonight. Take a look at some of the chances here for Kaya. Don't forget, you can show your love and support for your favorite teams by sending in your videos to the Philippines Football League Facebook page. We'll be back after this short break.
Mendiola FC 0.
How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Q suite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air, one where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
it. Kaya FC with the opener. Kenshiro Daniels burned him for pace.
Great hitter. Third goal for UCFC. And the lethal tandem of UCFC. Bienvenido as well as Robert Lopez down into the scoreboard for that goal. Bienve hits the crossbar and a lovely weighted pass or a lovely weighted shot into the path of Robert Lopez Mendy.
Busy.
I like his face.
That one.
When you have patience, Jing, there's the first goal!
It's a lovely ball from Montenegro.
1-0.
Maharlika Manila's first goal in the Philippines Football League, tucked away by Jose Montenegro.
Great pass.
Boyer wide open.
Touch and strike that sun.
Goal for Maharlika Manila. His first chance, and they've taken the lead.
Wow.
Substitute Jeremy Doyer has put Maharlika Manila in front.
Welcome back to the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. This game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. For all the fans out there, we know you're not here at the venue, but you can still show your love and support for your favorite teams by sending your videos to the Philippines Football League Facebook page. Check a little match stats here. Kaya FC-Iloilo with a line share of possession at 75%, and the shots as well, 11 with only 4 on target, but still 0-0. If you're Mendiola, well, you'll be happy going into the break. Still knotted up and deadlocked with no score on the board.
Yeah, I think Kai will be much happier with their statistics because of the fact that they've managed to get more shots off. And of course, their possession has led to corners, which means they are in the right half of the pitch and playing in the right area. But of course, we're looking at the most important stat. It is still 0-0, and the sides are already starting to make their changes at half-time.
Odi Menzi will check in for Marco Casambre on the left side, as we also have Mendiola making a quick change. So Apia will check in for Deloso. So an attacking change here coming from Mendiola. We were talking about how possibly they have a razor thin bench, but Apia is one of the guys who can actually make a difference here, especially on the attack.
Substitution from Mendiola FC. Number 15, Dave Deloso.
Once again, to everyone watching around the Philippines, magandang umaga. We hope you're enjoying the football we have for you. Earlier, we said we hope you're enjoying your breakfast, but now we're approaching brunch territory. Kaya FC playing from right to left of your screen in all black. and Mendiola playing in their white and red kits from left to right. We've seen Kaya lord over possession, create numerous chances, but then why has it not been decisive for Kaya so far, especially from the set piece?
I think Kaya have just run a little bit flat on their dynamics. So they're playing so well, but their ball movement has really been contained to areas on the pitch. And I think that as the game builds on, they're going to get more space, so they should be able to move the ball quicker in between areas. So naturally, the game will swing back in their favour. The key test is going to be whether or not Kaya can stay patient.
Apia is now the substitute for Mendiola, operating in the middle, right above the defensive line for Mendiola. Panhay now on the left side. Able to keep possession there. Mendiola with the clearance, but that is to no one in particular. Masa Omura able to get it. So again, there should be a change of attack in terms of Mendiola. They've been working on that, especially after tough losses here early in the bubble. Of course, they had arguably one of the roughest introductions to the league this particular season with UCFC, losing 6-0 there. And Panhay, well, really speculative effort, really hard to get anything from that angle.
Yeah, I think with Mendiola, they played against the two highest intensity teams. United City because of their ball movement, and then ADT because of their physical conditioning. So today really is a game that they probably put down as they should be able to get a result if they get the run of the ball, and if Kaya are unlucky in terms of the way that they build up their chances in front of goal.
Well, if you're Kaya, again, we can't emphasize this enough. This could decide the fate of the league, simply because dropping points here means that the door is wide open for UCFC to win the entire league tonight when they take on Stallions in the evening kickoff. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll be calling that with Darren until, unless he comes up with something better to do. Haji Mehdi pushing it forward. A rare attack here. Flores now operating on the right side. The ball in and a chance. That may have been one of the most dangerous chances in the game so far.
I think that was the most clear-cut chance of either sides. And Altici is a quality player. He's been around for a few years now, my batch. But by terms of his quality, he should score there. He's played enough games of football to understand the occasion that he's in. He played for Global when they were at the top of their game, and decent cross. I mean, Hamid has made a great run on the right-hand side just to distract and take the eyes of the Kaya left back, and it's a fantastic ball in from the striker who's just switched out to the right-hand side to change the dynamics up, like we were talking about with what Kaya could be doing. Wow, if they had scored then, that would have been a serious game of football we would have here.
Turned the game on its head, and that was interesting, especially that movement there, because Flores and Altice, it felt like they switched so quickly. The Kai defense had struggled to adapt. And the foul now deep within the Mendiola territory, and there is a man down here. Again, if you're looking at the bench and in terms of fitness levels, you have to feel that Mendiola would want to make sure that no one gets hurt for their team, because, as we mentioned, razor-thin bench. Take a look at what happened here.
Yeah, I don't think they will want any injuries, but at the same time, it's the way that they're defending. They're really throwing their bodies around, so it can happen. That's a great ball in.
Clearance there. Pia trying to get it away for Mendiola. Not too far, though. Daiso snatched at the shot. Didn't get any real contact, and that's off the target.
And just like that, the first 5 minutes of the second half go by, and with only 40 minutes left in the game.
Well, time flies when you're having fun, Darren. Definitely so.
I'm enjoying the game. The longer it stays 0-0, I mean, we always have to stay impartial while we're commentating. But this is a difficult one for the neutral fan. No one wants Mendiola to finish the season with no points. I don't think that's anything that anyone wants to see. But of course, we also kind of want to see this go down to the last day between the two AFC giants of Kaya FC and United City. So it's a really this you wouldn't have put this down on paper as, you know, a turning point in this 6-team league. But the result of this game now is very, very important now that Mendiola have kept it at 0-0 for 50 minutes.
Right now, obviously, we are assuming that UCFC will get the victory tonight against Stallions. And, of course, with all due respect to them, UCFC have been a monster in the league so far. So the only way for Kaya to ensure that this extends is if they get a result. Carla Mitchell with a clearance there.
Yeah, but now that Stallions are also a complete squad, they will be no pushover later either. After picking up a point against Kaya.
A different look now.
Game.
A different look now for Kaya, because that was the first time, one of the few times actually, they could attack Mendiola on the break, but then Mendiola, disciplined on defense, sorted things out immediately. Angeles wayward ball there. It still goes to Odi Menzi, and Haji Mehdi is adjudged with the foul, but will come away with that, receiving a whack to the face, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're both players had their arms out. And Haji Mehdi just on the receiving end. But the free kick was always going to go Kaya's way.
Take a look at this here. As maybe the arm did flail and hit the face. I say maybe because honestly, I don't know whether or not it made enough impact.
I've seen Hamid go down a few times. He does know what he's doing. He's, as you said, he's a seasoned professional and one of the characters of the game.
Well, the set piece count rises for Kaya. Oh, and a good chance there for Masa. Unable to get the best contact on the header. Probably mistimed the jump. Balobo very happy that he'll be able to collect that. Finding a Pia down the middle. And significantly more possession for Mendiola here. What have they changed during the break?
Interesting. They come out with a little bit of confidence, a bit of a spring in their step. And all of a sudden, after the way that we saw them play against ADT, where they were very direct, even from the goalkeeper. Now you can see the goalkeeper with his head up, looking to roll the ball out, find players' feet.
It feels like Mendiola are definitely one of the institutions of Philippine football, especially with their alumni program, obviously based from San Beda. They traced their roots back there. And even the 1991, they're talking about the inception of the group even before becoming a professional club. They've played in so many levels around the metro area and have been producing great players in and around the country for years. And Kaya, on the other hand, established in 1996, have been the shining light of Philippine football, club football, for years and years. Take a look at the possession count there. And Mendiola actually with more possession here to start out the second half. Bedic on the attack, trying to find Panhay on the left. Delivery inside, good clearance. The game has opened up here. Angles trying to shift it to the right side. The defender wise to it.
And of course, just to mention, you're talking about Mendiola's history. Of course, Coach Roxy Dorlas of Maharlika as well, a product of the San Beda system.
And Depe with the very high clearance. Hard to find that in the sun, but Simone Rota gets to it. Well, Kaya, at least in the opening moments here of the second half, look to be a bit more nervy compared to Mendiola. Now you have to wonder, we talked about the mental strength of Mendiola to keep on defending, but can Kaya sustain pressure? Now a chance for Flores. Great tackle from Rota. Won the ball. Panhay concedes the throw-in. Mendiola looking like a completely different side here after the break.
Yeah, and for a half second there, they were 3-on-3 at the back. Hamid had actually just drifted out to the left out of the equation, but there was a point where they were potentially 3 against 3 on the counter-attack, exactly where they would want to be, considering the style of play that they have adapted over the last season.
Well, for all of the possession that Mendiola have now earned, it will be interesting to see what Kaya do now with a more open game. And there will be a slew of substitutions here coming in. Dylan De Broica coming in, as well as Arnel Amita and Eric Giganto. And that tells you really that Kaya are in it to win it, because this configuration in particular now makes this the most attacking side Kaya can come up with.
And what I tell younger players is you kind of just know when the game is opening up, and that is where you need to take advantage of your efficient football. And I think that Kaya have seen the game starting to open up a little bit, and the introduction of 3 fresh legs is something which they have to their disposal, which other clubs don't have. So this should play into Kaya's advantage now, and Mendiola have built a little bit of momentum here in the start of the second half.
Well, Flores unable to control that. His touch let him down. And you have to feel that if Flores may release the ball a bit earlier, every time he gets his feet on it, maybe he could come up with a few more chances. Now, Bedic on the run. Can he get to it? Chance here. Wide left. Well, Bedic, we talk about him as one of the favorites, at least before the season started, to earn a golden boot. But really, Kaya having trouble scoring so far the entire season. Take a look at this one more time. The first time he has had the ball on the break, unable to get it on target.
Yeah, it was good movement off the ball, though. Showed strength as well to get himself ahead of the defender. But scoring goals is not just about technique. Sometimes it's about confidence. And when your team is struggling to score goals, sometimes people are putting pressure on your number 9, and perhaps that's what Bedic is feeling at the moment. It's just the pressure of carrying the attack of Kaya FC.
Long ball forward. Oh, and Depe fouled by Bedic. And he, just looking at their physical profiles, it'll be hard to knock Ndepe out of the way.
Unless, of course, this man on the ball, Mitchell, goes on one of his runs.
I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of attacking center backs, and things getting a bit chippy here. Kenshiro Daniels did not like that late tackle. It will be a foul anyway for Mendiola, and a chance for Kaya to get something done from a set piece once more.
And this is exactly what we spoke about at the start of the second half. Will Kaya get frustrated with the way that Mendiola are playing? I think that Mendiola have got some characters. I was watching Polina play as he was developing in UAAP. They're feisty characters, these guys. They've been picked for a reason. And you can see there, just Kenshiro just drifting with the ball, and yeah, that's a clumsy tackle, and I can see why Kenshiro is a little bit frustrated there. But the referee doing the right thing there and getting his cards out.
Voila, but with the yellow card, Daniels with the delivery. Looking for Omura. Bodies on the floor here. Balobo. 2 Mendiola players on the floor. Referee calls for the medic, and so Mendiola coming out of the break really with more desire, at least on the attacking front, a lot more than what they've shown at the halftime break. And if you're Coach Yu Hoshida of Kaya, you're now sweating, definitely. Another substitution here coming up for Mendiola. Pangasinan will check in. Coming in for Nimrod Balabat. He just had his yellow card here, so I wonder if Coach Dan Padernal wanted to ensure that he wanted another guy who can come into the tackle without the fear of receiving a second yellow.
I think it's also one of those things where Coach Dan Padernal will be feeling that Kaya have put on fresh legs, and he doesn't want the game to run away from him. It will take time for the 3 players of Kaya to get up to game tempo, and I think that that's a smart coaching decision from Coach Dan. The way that I see it as well is regular football, you normally only got 3 subs. So this is a very different game. Games in quick succession, and of course having those 5 substitutes really changes the way that you have to approach the game in terms of your tactics.
How nervous should you be right now if you're a Kaya FC fan?
With 30 minutes to go, as long as they don't get frustrated, they've got a goal within them. Whether or not they have 2 goals, at the moment, only time will tell. So as long as the defence stays strong and they look like they can hold on and they don't get frustrated like that, that's kind of just trying to force the ball forwards. Kaya aren't that sort of team. They know how they score goals. They shouldn't change the way that they're playing. They just need to keep creating chances.
With Panhay and Daiso Horikoshi hooked for the substitutions, and you have to feel that with the profile of players that Yu Hoshide has come up with, they will now try to attack more centrally. Giganto in particular, great cutting in and working with Arnel Amita. And looks like they push Conchir Daniels to the right side to allow Amita to operate in the middle as well. So we'll have a quick hydration break here. And do you feel that the key will be through the middle for Kaya against this Mendiola team that has shown that they are so solid defensively? But before that, just a reminder that this game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. And for the fans out there who want to let the teams, let the clubs know that they're out there, you can show your love and support for your favorite teams by sending your videos through the Philippines Football League Facebook page. You can also send one to my partner here, Darren Hartman, because we all know you're fans of him. Yeah, so speaking about Kaya's change in personnel and offensively, do you feel that the key may be through the middle? Because at least on paper, it feels like it is a move to find more incision through the central midfield.
I think that's part of it, but also now with the minute water breaks, it kind of changes the way that the game is played now in the second half. You can look at it almost as 2 15-minute sets. And of course, Mendiola will go out with the attitude that we're going to need to keep working hard for 15 minutes. And I think that Kaya should be setting themselves targets for the number of opportunities they can create. If you went out now and said, okay, 15 minutes, we're gonna take 6 shots, you could easily do that with the personnel that Kaya have. It's got a little bit flat out wide now for Kaya, and they are trying to play a little bit more down the middle. But Mendiola at the moment are coping with the rotation of Kaya's football. So they just need to pick up the pace of the ball. I don't think they need to move quicker. They've just got to get the ball moving quicker, a little bit like how United City play.
Well, again, easier said than done to play at the level of United City. But your point is well taken there. Balobo collected that cross from Nano Amita, so making a big difference there. That combination for Amita and Giganto is really celebrated. Not only do they hail from the same province, but also from the same college program here in the Philippines. Playing a bit more direct here, talking about Kaya. Odi Menzi, who slotted in at right back, coming in for Casambre, who started at left. Trying to look for Giganto. A bit too far.
That's a fantastic ball into the box. But when you're looking at it, when the ball is out on the right-hand side, it'd be interesting to see if there is a quota for how many players need to be in the box for Kaya. That's a quality cross into the box. I remember, looking back at, players who were able to receive the ball for our national team, players like James Younghusband. If the ball was coming into the box and you had 3 or 4 players in the box who were all capable, then a cross like that, you're going to be creating an opportunity for. But if you're going to put in a cross like that, it doesn't matter how good the cross is. If there aren't numbers in the box, the chance of you scoring gets lower and lower and lower with the less players you have in the area.
And that'll be a foul within the edge of Kaya territory. So Mendiola looking a lot more dangerous. In fact, they were toothless in that first half, save for that one shot on goal. And here, all of a sudden, it's just so different here in the second 45.
Yeah, and where it starts to become hard for Kaya is the fact that they're going to want to keep the tempo high and keep the intensity high. And of course, Mendiola will be looking to slow things down. And that's where the frustrations can start to creep in.
Well, there's a foul there from behind, and you can see why Mendiola were upset with it. They go to the left. Ahmed Hajimedi now shifting. Again, so good on the ball. Talking about Hamed. Ball forward. Oh, and that should be a handball. Easy call for referee. So Kaya not having the type of pressure and possession that we saw in the first half, but then despite really not besieging the back line of Mendiola, maybe they feel like they could finally get them on the run, as there's so much more space now behind the defenders. Menzi ball in again, looking for Bedic. Balobo will collect easily. And they'll take a time. De Broica will force him to pick it up.
But that was better from Kaya there. You see how they just held the ball on the left-hand side and then switched it to the right. A little bit more confidence, maybe zip the passing a little bit quicker would help stretch the game and give Kaya a little bit more width. And of course, width means space for Bedic to move into and do what we know that he can do.
De Broica playing with Giganto, now finding Nano Amita in the middle. What can he do here? He's pulling the strings. Bedic hounded there. Still keeps possession. Now shifts it to the right to Kenshiro Daniels, who've moved from the center to the wing. De Broica. Back to Daniels. Find the run of Giganto. Giganto couldn't make it. You have to feel that they're trying to inch closer towards Giganto's side, and one good-timed run, one well-timed run could make the difference here. Take a look at this one more time.
Yes, again, it's another good ball in from the right-hand side, and just a little bit of timing and understanding. But I do like the way that Kaya have set up for this this last portion of the second half, or the last portion of the game. They've already managed to create several chances, but Mendiola still keeping the score at 0-0.
Well, Kaya really unable to get any shots on target here. In fact, the best chance of the game so far arguably went Mendiola's way. But then Kaya fans would say that, oh, Carla Mitchell had a chance to score in that first half. Operating now on the wing. Rare pressure here coming from Mendiola. A goal here could upset the balance. And a very rare corner for Mendiola.
See, sometimes I think the wingers are too nice. If I'm a wide player and I put the ball in the same way that Mendiola and Kaya have been, if players aren't in the box to attack it, then the wingers should be saying, come on guys, I'm doing my part. And this has led to Mendiola's first corner. But if you're putting crosses in the box, you've got to look at the percentages and you've got to get bodies forwards. It takes a lot of hard work, and I know it's easy for us to say, and it's very, very hot out there, but that's a good corner in.
Well, they're looking for the run of Endepe, and understandably so, but he took down a Kaya defender in the process, so referee pulling it back.
I would have passed him on to someone else. I would not be marking him. Well, you've seen the way that he attacks the long passes coming forwards.
Foul there against Kaya. So Mendiola not afraid to play quickly off the set pieces. Again, building in confidence here. Now shifting to the left side. They've been favoring that here on the attack. Flores, the only man in the middle. Oh, a misclearance there, but Soriano there to clear it out. A chance here from outside. The deflection did not help. Briseño, former UST player, former global player, with the chance there. Honestly, Darren, one of the few moments I could say a former teammate of mine, actually, Tomba Briseño.
I was very nervous there for Kaya. That was a great build-up from Mendiola with the combination in the middle of the park and then a very confidently switched ball to the left-hand side. It was just one of those awkward bounces in front of Mitchell, and the ball fell so nicely that possibly could have been 1-0 to Mendiola. What a wake-up call for Kaya with a little over 20 minutes of play here.
Shifting now to the left side again, trying to look for the run of Flores, trying to get the better of Rota. He eventually does. Here's a chance for Mendiola. Can they nick a goal here? No foul, says the referee. Hajimedi battling for it, but Kaya come away.
Resilient defending from Kaya, showing that they can do it at both ends. And now there's a counter-attack. Kaya trying to build the ball up as quick as they can, but Mendiola are already so quickly back with numbers.
Giganto, so much space on the left side. Bedic in the center. Chance here for De Broica. And a great save from Balobo. Danger not away. Ball back in. Giganto. High header. And Depe with the clearance. Soriano try to win it back. End-to-end action here. Boy, we did not expect that from this game in particular, but so close. Great chances on both sides.
What a passage of play from one end to the other. Producing a huge save with 20 minutes to go. I hope that Balabo's not injured there. What a fantastic save.
Take a look at this again. So Kaya with some of their most dangerous opportunity here, forcing Balobo into a great low save. De Broica had time to line that up. And Balobo just making himself big there, and that's great goalkeeping.
Yeah, closing down his angles, making himself big. I mean, he's not the biggest goalkeeper in the league, possibly the shortest goalkeeper in the league actually, but he's made himself big there, and he's kept him side in the game.
Osei checking in for the first time this season. He'll be coming in for Kenshiro Daniels.
That's interesting. I mean, you could think that perhaps resting Kenshiro Daniels for the next game coming up, but for me, it's still not job done yet. They still need to get that goal. They will be looking really at trying to get all 3 points here today, Kaya.
Well, Osei provides a completely different threat to Daniels. What does he do for this Kaya team, at least from an attacking standpoint?
Well, I think it just gives an extra target man. I feel that over the last, 10, 15 minutes, Mendiola have managed to work themselves into the game and physically have managed to start to outcompete the Kaya forward. So perhaps just putting a little bit of weight up there, getting a few more muscles further up the pitch.
Of course, it'll be dependent on where he will be actually deployed here. So we'll see whether or not he'll play alongside Bedic or if Bedic will drop down a bit to provide more creativity. Balobo, again, with the save of the match easily so far. Kaya on the attack, throw in deep within Mendiola territory. Odi Menzi loses it to Hajimedi. Chance for Mendiola to build again.
Yeah, and Hamid Hajimedi is just giving that little bit of composure now, which Mendiola need to get them over the line in these last 18 minutes, because Kaya will come at Mendiola and try to nick this game late.
If Kaya drop points here, their fate is not in their hands. UCFC have the chance to win the title tonight. Again, it all depends on what happens here. Carla Mitchell with the ball forward, but it only finds a white shirt. Again, operating very well on that left side. Talking about Mendiola. Well, in general, until they lost possession there. Ndepe. Quick challenge on Bedic. No time on the ball. Now on the attack. Hajimedi with time and space. Goes at it himself, and probably not necessarily the best decision considering how far he was.
Yeah, it's a long way out. I don't think he's known for that sort of range, but perhaps just frightened of how quick Kaya might press him out. And of course, as we mentioned earlier in the game, it will take a huge effort from that sort of range to beat Michael Casas in goal.
Well, he had Eltiche running on the right side, talking about Hajimedi, and we'll see whether or not he can make a better release next time. So Osei now on the run. That will be his first contribution to the Kaya attack, but that is cleared away by Balobo. Quick off the line, and he has had a fantastic game so far. And Depe will have to concede another corner. We haven't seen a lot of those here for Kaya in the second half, and we saw a glut of them in the first.
Yeah, you can almost see, though, it's the belief of Mendiola which has been getting them through the seconds, and I'm sure they're looking at every second and every minute with just over 15 minutes to play. Kaya have still been creative in this half. They've been a little bit more direct, but it's it's still just not quite working for them in the last third. I'm sure that they will be reviewing this game and working out where they can improve. But at the moment, all focuses will come down to now whether or not they can put together a succession of passes and unlock this hard-working Mendiola defence.
Ball will stay with the white shirts there. Mendiola holding on to the ball so much better compared to what happened in the first half. I felt like they probably showed too much respect to the Kaya team and gave them all the possession here. You can see them challenging more. You can see them trying to find more avenues on the offensive side.
I'll say this is the best that they've played all season so far.
And what a time for it to come. Dylan De Broika on the run, trying to find Bedek. He is offside though. The flag is up. Jovan Bedek. Let's take a look at the run here. Ooh, and that is incredibly tight.
Very, very tight.
Shout out to all our cameramen out there who have made our director Sidelf Tupas very proud. If only you could hear him right now. But I can guarantee he is smiling talking about Sidelf Tupas. So brightly, early in the morning. Brighter than the sun. Balobo still on the ground. We have a hydration break here. He's stretching out a bit here because it has been quite a busy day for him. Mendiola, very commendable defending here. But honestly, Darren, Kaya just having such a difficult time creating chances against a Mendiola team who, again, were not fancied whatsoever going into this point. Full credit to the Mendiola defense, but again, so much more expected from this Kaya team.
Yeah, Mendiola are almost now a team of attack and defence. Their defence is still relatively deep compared to where their attack is, but their attackers are hard-working, and when they do get the ball, very direct. So it's kind of difficult now to see where Kaya can exploit the middle of the park. That's what they really should be doing. You can see that the Mendiola legs are tiring, so the defence is distant from the strikers, and Kaya need to get themselves in the middle of the park, and they need to make things happen.
Well, you mentioned the tired legs. Coach Dan Padernal last time around against ADT conceded that his players did get tired against the younger, fresher legs of the ADT team.
And it took ADT 70 minutes to break down Mendiola's fitness. And now Kaya are in that same phase that ADT were in. Kaya should be able to see, like, there's a huge space in the middle of the park here, which they should be really dictating and commanding.
And Giganto here with an opportunity. The defense is there. The deflection, though, favorable to the Mendiola keeper.
But I'm not sure if you can see what I mean. You've got Kaya players deep and Mendiola players high. And on the other end, you've got Mendiola players deep and Kaya players high. But really, what they need is experience in the middle of the park just to hold things together and exploit that space.
We mentioned a while ago the game was opening up here in the second half, and that may be a good illustration of it, Darren. What you did mention, the fitness levels were never going to be at the level any team wants, considering the shortened preparation time heading into the PFL bubble. For those not familiar with the situation the players are playing in right now, all the teams are housed at Seda Nuvali. All 6 teams are there, and they are playing a game every 2 days in a single round robin. So such a short season. And for Kaya, they felt that they could really take the stranglehold off UCFC. Opportunistic here for Kaya. Osei takes it. Chance and blocked. Dylan De Broika now operating on the right side. Can he deliver? Going inside, but cleared away again. Mendiola just shut off there defensively, and Kaya applying the pressure. One more chance here. Giganto.
I think you've got to put part of that down to also, as you said, shortened preparation time. So although players can be disciplined, home workouts, it's only recently that gyms opened up and were safe to use. But then, of course, getting in front of a goal and taking shots is something that you need a pitch to do. And there was an example of, if that was last season, that's in the back of the net. And we find ourselves now with, scenarios like which happen a lot. We'll be looking at Stallions to see what Stallions do against United City. It's going to be a very, very close running if this stays 0-0. And of course, things will no longer be in the favour of Kaya, because again, they will look at this as 2 points dropped if it stays as 0-0.
Again, Kaya will only have their fate in their own hands if they get a victory here. Because later on, if they are not able to get a victory here, if they do concede the 2 points, or even 3, realistically speaking, that means they will rely on Stallions to get a result against UCFC.
Yeah, they remain unbeaten. They're playing well. It's just the fact that United City have got 9 points out of 3, and this would mean that Kaya have put themselves in a situation where they've drawn 2 games.
Well, United have also scored 10 goals in their last game, so really, in terms of teams on form, it's really them. Hajimedi trying to find a run of Flores, almost got to it. Clearance here will fall to a Mendiola player. Altice giving it back to Briseño. He has options. They go to Hajimedi, who was crowded by 4 black shirts, but Briseño there to retain possession, trying to, but loses out to Giganto. Chance for Kaya to go on the break. That'll be offside clear there against Osei. So yep, Osei, they're playing again against the defense there with Bedic coming in, playing the number 10 role.
Osei was, in the 9 position now. Great movement off the ball, and it's a fantastic pass into his path. Just drifted slightly into an offside position.
Foul there by Flores, knocking out Rota as he went for the header. Again, so much talent in this Kaya team, and they would be very disappointed not to be able to nick a goal yet. Again, entering the clutch phase of this game. Giganto now on the left side. He had so much room there and let the ball bounce and able to claim it.
Yeah, it's just percentage-wise. I mean, get the ball into the middle of the park and then make that pass. If you're playing that pass from deep, it's a 30, 40-yard pass when it doesn't need to be. That can be 2 20-yard passes, and you'll have much more control over the ball. And have confidence in Massa. He's the most experienced player out there. Give him the ball.
Osei on the run. Ndepe trying to challenge him. Osei still on the ball. Giganto will try to deliver it. 4 black shirts in the box. Asking for a handball. Referee not having it. All the Kaya players had a shout.
All the Kaya players and me. Natural instinct there as that ball's come across is that the defenders use his arm. That's a big decision from the referee. No VAR here.
Altice with the push. And no VAR here. Some people are cheering. But Kaya fans, definitely not on that occasion. Bedic gets the ball back after losing it, trying to look for the run of Oli Menzi or De Broica. Finds Osei rather, and that'll be offside. He's been caught offside a couple of times already. Hasn't really got into that game rhythm.
Yeah, it's his first outing as well, so it's going to be difficult for him to adjust.
Take a look at this. This is a shout for handball, and ooh.
That's why I'm not a referee.
That actually looks close to being legal, but I could also understand the shout of Kaya there.
I think what the referee will say is that no arms were extended, so it's a natural form of his body. So very, very big decision to have to make, but Kaya FC should not be relying on penalty calls in the last 6-7 minutes to dispatch a team which is arguably at the foot of the table at the moment.
Back to Soriano. Bodies in the box. 3 black shirts in the box for Kaya. Giganto, the run of Amita, tried to feed him and reward him for it, and that is a clean tackle for Mendiola. You have to talk about how great they've been defensively here, getting their tackles right, able to pull off some great saves from Balobo, and on the break, they've actually shown a bit of danger.
Yeah, I mean, they make substitutes. I mean, like PJ Fadrigallen, who he's been in the league for years and years and years, and to have him just come on for the last 5-6 minutes just to try to settle out the defence is is a good tactical option that Mendiola had available to him, but they're going to have to keep holding on here.
Osei, all the time, takes a shot, and that's just over the bar. Well, Kaya are knocking on the door, and Osei with the latest effort, just a few inches lower, and you never know.
And this is what you want from your number 9. Just trying to skip inside, only needs half a yard to get a shot off, and that's some training ground stuff there. And if that's on target, that's 1-0 Kaya, and he's a hero, and he's arguably starting in the next game. That's how quick football can be. But the football gods are with Mendiola at the moment, as that just grazes the top of the crossbar.
Well, Kaya FC have been offering so much more pressure here in comparison to what happened a while ago against Mendiola. As we have a man down so far for Mendiola. That is Malayo, who needs some help getting up here. So Mendiola will make a substitution. But for the moment, if Kaya play quick enough, they could take advantage of having one-man advantage. So take a look at the stats shooting-wise. 32% is on target for Kaya, 28% only for Mendiola. So really, in terms of accuracy, both teams lacking. But then if you're Kaya, again, you have to be hoping that you have already a goal here, as Nebreja will check in.
And that's where the stats become so important. I mean, if your shooting percentage on target is at 30%, just take more shots. That's the way that you balance out the averages.
Flores holding it off. Altice with the run, but that pass is way behind him. No one able to get to it.
3 minutes of regular time left, plus whatever the fourth official deems there to be in this game.
All the pressure now on Kaya.
And we will find out how many minutes there are left soon.
Flores trying to get a band to Altice. There is a chance here for Mendiola. Do we have a late winner on the cards? Flores deep inside the box. Tight angle. Went for it himself.
You can just hear how vocal Mendiola are to get their players back in behind the ball. Opportunity though, could have pulled it back. You had Hamid there waiting in the middle. Not too many complaints. It was a tight angle and he was under a lot of pressure.
Kaya on the verge of potentially losing the title today if they do not get a victory. Giganto. Now Amita. Quick feet there, but better clearance there for Mendiola. Rota.
We've been told there will be an additional 5 minutes of time. 5 minutes to see whether or not Kaya can get themselves their 3 points.
Massa floated ball for Odi Menzi. Can he deliver it properly? 5 black shirts in the box. One of them is now Amita. Briseño, last ditch tackle here. Flores will try to go on the run. Rota with the foul. You can imagine Mendiola will take their time with this one. They play quick instead. Hajimedi. So Mendiola not content with just a draw here.
Well, it plays into Mendiola's favour when the game does get end-to-end. This is how they like to play their football. It's good to see that the Mendiola aren't settling for the draw. It's nice to see that they've gone out with a positive attitude and they believe that they can do what they said at the start of the game, which is win 1-0, but they can't if they're going to give the ball away like that in the middle of the park.
Now shifting it to the left side. Giganto. Back to Amita. Playing it forward to Osei. Play on, says the referee. Bedek trying to look for the run of Osei, and Depe there to clear. Last 30 seconds before injury time. Osei inside. Can he hold on to it here? Low ball, in Depe with the clearance. Kaya have to start all over. Rota. Now to Soriano. Bodies in the box. or at least on the edge of the box for Kaya. Mitchell. 5 minutes added time is confirmed. Entering danger time here for Kaya. Bedic. Ball in. Odi Menzi. He takes a shot, and that's straight at keeper.
And you just saw the experience defending there of PJ Fadrigalan just coming across, being in the right place, but a mistake from the goalkeeper, not when you need one.
Giganto now, bearing down on the left. Amita, he shoots from range. Great block there by Briseño. Last-ditch defending here from Mendiola. All hands back now for Mendiola. Giganto trying to keep possession. That'll be a goal kick. De Broica setting it up here for the keeper.
Yeah, all the players will be aware that they've got, you know, just under 4 minutes of playing time left in this game.
Omura gives it to Amita. They go back to Rota. Again, trying to build from behind here. Masa Omura. Again, look for Giganto. And a clean tackle there, says the referee. Soriano still has it, though. Will he launch the ball in? Attempting to go center now, moving it to the right side. Mitchell, the center back, now way forward, going on an attacking run himself. Keeps the ball. Ball in again, and that is a poor cross. 3 minutes left here of added time. And Mendiola on the cusp of... I know it's going to be a draw, but this is already an upset, if ever.
I think it is an upset because on the cards, this is 3 points to Kaya.
With multiple goals, at least, on paper.
Yeah, considering the results that Mendiola had building into this game as well. So it does set up, though, a very interesting game between Stallions and United City this evening.
I can tell you right now, all the Kaya supporters will be cheering for Stallions if they aren't able to nick a late winner here. And a loss here for Kaya would make it even more mathematically difficult for them to get one over UCFC. Technically still alive, but you never know. Oh, and in the last minute of added time, Mendiola with a chance to put something in the box. And maybe they can nick a winner. They play quickly, looking for Flores. Rota there to defend, though. Can Kaya go on the break with the Mendiola defense a bit higher than they usually are? Rota plays it forward quickly, looking for the run of Bedic. Bedic gets on it. Oh, but a good clearance there from the substitute. And Kaya pressuring high. They know they only have minutes left, seconds maybe.
You just see how vocal the coaching staff are of Mendiola, especially Dan Paderno, a very passionate character himself as a player.
Bedic onside. Can he get it here? Is this the winner? And what a save from Balobo, denying them one more time. But the danger isn't over yet. A corner here for Kaya.
A corner with 1 minute to play. I mean, I thought that was the opportunity. I was ready I'd celebrate any goal in this game. It's been a fantastic game of football, but now Kaya are going to be reliant on the quality of this delivery from this corner. This could be their last attack. There may still be added time. There's a player down. The referee might decide to add an extra 30 seconds because the medics come onto the field. But this could be the last set piece that Kaya have in this game. This is a crucial moment in what is a very short but exciting PFL league.
This could be the difference of whether or not the league will be decided today. Kaya FC, with potentially the last kick of the game, have a corner against a very stubborn, a very brave Mendiola team. Mitchell, Osei in the box, as well as Bedic, Rota as well. So many targets. They have the height advantage. They have the size advantage. But do they have the quality? Amita standing over this one. This could make or break the Kaya season. All but 2 players from Kaya are in the box. The ball in. That's cleared away. Mendiola are now on the break. Only one man left for Kaya. Can they get a winner here? Pass too heavy there for Haji Medi. What a tackle there from Soriano. Dying seconds here. Referee looks at his watch. Route 1 football here. Osei pushing it forward. Do they have time? Amita. Briseño with the tackle. Crucial seconds wasted away. And that'll do it. A crucial draw here in the league. It isn't over yet. UCFC need to get a victory, and Kaya, all of a sudden, their hopes of taking the title away from UCFC, formerly Ceres, is now in the hands of Stallions. They had the opportunities, they had the chances, and the look on their faces paint 1,000 words.
Yeah, I think on any other day, in any other league where, as I said, it's 18, 20 games, these little draws at the start, they don't really mean so much. But when it's only 5 games, every single, I wouldn't even say every single point is important. Every single minute of the game is important. And you can just see the frustration and the disbelief on the Kaya players as their future of lifting this title now falls in the hands of other clubs.
We talk about Kaya FC and the disappointment that they've had, but then we have to applaud the effort, the defense, the heart of this Mendiola FC 1991 team. Easily their best performance of the season so far. So many people have written them off before this game, but they've proved everybody wrong.
Yeah, I don't just think it's about Kaya not producing. I think Mendiola have played a huge part in this game, and all I can wish is that the next time that they step out on the pitch, they have the same belief as they did in this second half. Even up to the end in the 95th minute, they found themselves 3 against 1, maybe didn't have the legs, maybe didn't have the quality, but they played a massive part in keeping this game as a 0-0. It was definitely not one of those boring 0-0s. This had a lot riding on it. It was a fantastic game of football. Kaya will be disappointed, but still, Mendiola, what a performance to keep themselves in it.
That is all you need to know about how Kaya feel about the result. Lonely figures on the pitch on a game that they felt that they knew they should have won. 0-0 between Kaya FC and Mendiola FC 1991. As we mentioned, the 2 title favorites are Kaya and UCFC, and Kaya have now left the door wide open for UCFC to claim it tonight. All eyes will be on Stallions and UCFC to determine who will be the champion of the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Thank you very much for joining us in this wonderful morning of football. My name is Paulo Del Rosario, alongside my partner for the day, Coach Darren Hartman. We're going to be back here, you and I, for the final game and what could be the game that sees UCFC lift the trophy. So we hope to see you there, and we also hope to see you in our midday clash. ADT will go up against Maharlika Manila FC. What a day for football. We hope to see you then.
Tayo mo na dyan ha.